Hello and welcome to Transactional Writing with etetutor. So this is a video for anyone who's doing GCSE English Language Paper 2. It'll be helpful for any exam board. This task is quite easy to apply to different exam boards as long as you know how long you should be spending on the question and how many marks you're awarded, and that you're aware of your mark scheme and those assessment objectives. But remember, the assessment objectives are for everyone regardless of exam board. Right, let's get going. Oh, and by the way, grab a pen, try to make some notes, try and get as most out of this as possible. Right, so this one I've done in the Edexcel format, but like I said, you can apply it wherever. So if you are doing Edexcel, this is what you'll see. Section B, transactional writing, answer one question. You should spend 45 minutes on this section, write your answer in the space provided. Okay, so you'll get a choice of 2 questions. Here we're just focusing in on one particular task. Make sure you do pick quickly, and really good idea to just stick with it once you've started and not change your mind because you don't have much time. Alrighty then. So what I thought we'd do is just focus in on the different aspects of this question and just try to tease some ideas out of you, and hopefully you'll be able to create a plan. Even if you only spend 5 minutes creating a plan and don't actually write the answer, you will still benefit, especially if you're somebody who struggles to generate the ideas at first. Okie dokes. So, the university in your town/city has asked the public for feedback on what it's like living in a university town/city. They have asked members of the local community to email their thoughts. So that's a statement. We always get something like that, and then we will get a little bit like this. In your email you could write about, or it might just say you could write about, and then you'll get a list of bullet points, always ending with, as well as any other ideas you might have. And then we get the final note. Your response will be marked for the accurate and appropriate use of vocabulary, spelling, punctuation and grammar, which is AO6. So again, there'll be some sort of comment like this on everybody's exam paper. Right, the ideas, that's what we're here for. So what you've got to do is really try to empathise with the character you're taking on when writing this piece. So here you are a member of a local community, a town or city that has a university. Right, so you need to imagine what this would be like if you don't live anywhere near a university. And I know when I was growing up I lived in a village, and I'd have probably been thinking, oh gosh, this is a bit tricky. So it's good to practice, like I said. You've got to imagine you're this person, and you're the kind of person who would write a letter to the university to try and share your views. So you're quite a motivated person, you care about your community, so you've got to think why you care about it. What is it? And make up this person. Now it could be very close to you if that's easier, but you might think, it doesn't really matter to me, I don't really care about living in a university city. I'm going to imagine that I'm somebody totally different. So might imagine that you're an elderly person who's experiencing it from that perspective, or it might be that you are a teenager and you're sort of learning about what university life might be like. So try and imagine who you are, and then that should help you create the appropriate tone for your piece. It's going to be quite serious because it's a serious topic, and the actual language is going to be pretty formal, unless you want to include some made-up quotations from people. So for example, with this one, it might be that in the middle of the night you can hear students shouting and give a quote, and that quote is not in standard English. But on the whole, it should be formal, and really have a clear structure. Now, the bullet points they give you might lend themselves to creating a structure, or you might want to dismiss them altogether. Here we can see you could write about. Now, I'd suggest on the whole there will be some things on this list that you will write about, but not necessarily all of them. So with this kind of task where it's quite personal, I'd suggest you started there by introducing yourself and remembering all the details for the format. So this is an email, but we're not going to focus in on those details yet. You can check out the other videos for those. This is more about generating ideas. So personal experience, you're going to want to introduce yourself. Maybe say how long you've lived in the community, say what your role is. I don't know, you might have worked as a lollipop lady, or you might volunteer at the Brownies, or you might be a part-time fireman. Whatever it is, you want to kind of establish why you care about the community. And then after that, link it into whether you believe the university is positive or negative or a mixture of the two. Now, most people will be able to recognise more than one side to a lot of things, so it's probably going to be a mixture of those two. So it might start with listing out some of the problems. So what kind of problems could we have in a university town? So I live in a university town, and to be honest, I've not experienced that many problems, but you could say maybe Freshers Week, there might be an increase in litter, there might be problems with noise, there might be leafleting campaigns, things like that. So you could pick up those negatives, but on positives there's going to be a lot of things you can mention. So we've got that one, local economy, down there, so think about the impacts that having a university does have in terms of drawing people to a location. And obviously, the more people in a location spending money, the better the businesses are going to do, and it's going to thrive. It may be that the university also allows other things to take place in the community and supports that. So there's a few negatives and positives that you could include. What you're going to want to do, though, is back up those negatives and positives with some evidence. So some made up statistics. It could be 7 out of 10 people in Loughborough have experienced an increase in litter during Freshers Week. Or it could be a quotation from somebody. So we might go to a member of the local council who say, "It's fantastic living in this vibrant university town. We have great diversity, and we all work together to create harmony in the community," or something like that. So you've got that made up quote as evidence, and you've got your made up statistics as evidence. Obviously, you're not going to know statistics, and it's not like you can just Google them. So you've got to make them up. So just try and make them seem realistic, and think about the different formats that you can use. So your structure is quite simple there, isn't it? Introduce yourself, talk about the positives, negatives, or vice versa, or positive, negative, however you want to do it. And then once you've done that, you're going to want to summarise your overall feelings for this one. So that'd be another paragraph doing that, reinforcing perhaps what you've already said. Finally, a short paragraph where you thank your reader normally, because it's normally somebody significant and you've wanted to write this letter, so you're thanking them for their time, and you are possibly saying any action that you'd like to take place, so you'd like to receive a response within the next month or something. And then finally, an appropriate sign off where you give your full name. The majority of these tests are formal, so you're going to want to give your full name. And it may be that you want to give yourself a title as well. So say you were a nursery manager in this town and you were having problems, you probably want to include your name and the name of the nursery in there. So it's all about trying to make it like real life. Okay? So it's all a bit of make-believe and pretending. Right. Just recap, AO5, AO6, this is what you're being marked on here. So if you look over those, you can see they're all things that I've been talking about. Finally, just want to say thanks to everybody for watching. Thanks for all the comments. It's been really helpful. If you've got anything to say, please use the comment section below. Please subscribe to the channel, and that will really help me in terms of knowing which videos to do.